The whispers started long before the terror truly began. A chill wind through California nights, a feeling of unease that settled in the bone marrow. They called him different names at different times, a chameleon of chaos, a phantom of the dark. First, the Visalia ransacker, then the East Area rapist, and finally, the original Night Stalker. He was all of these, a singular entity of violence and fear. For decades, he stalked the shadows, leaving a trail of broken lives and shattered homes in his wake. And for decades, the hunt for him seemed destined to be an unending cycle of frustration, a chilling testament to the resilience of evil. But now, after an excruciatingly long wait, the whispers have changed. The hunt is over. The story begins in the late 1970s, a time of suburban innocence gradually giving way to paranoia. The sprawling suburbs of Sacramento, with their manicured lawns and quiet streets, seemed an unlikely stage for such unspeakable horrors. It was here, in the eastern tracts of the county, hence the moniker, that his reign of terror commenced. His earliest crimes were those of a prowler, a burglar who escalated into something far more sinister. He would break into homes, often targeting couples in the presumed safety of their own bedrooms, tying up the man and then terrorizing the woman, raping her while the man remained helpless and tormented. His methods were meticulously calculated, his presence a violation of the most sacred of spaces, the sanctuary of home. He'd often take small items, seemingly just to taunt the police, leaving behind a calling card of broken locks and violated trust that echoed the shattered peace of the families. The fear was palpable, a constant hum in the air, a suffocating blanket that descended upon entire neighborhoods. People started sleeping with their doors and windows locked, installing elaborate security systems that seemed almost futile against such a brazen intruder, and living in a state of heightened alert that eroded their very sense of security. He was more than a criminal. He was an embodiment of the primal fear that gnawed at the edges of their safe lives, a darkness that seemed to emanate from the very shadows. As time went on, the attacks became more violent, and the crimes escalated from the East Area to the sun-drenched, yet increasingly fearful, landscapes of Southern California. He began to kill. In 1979, the chilling transition from rapist to murderer took place, marking a terrifying evolution of his depravity. The victims were often young couples, chosen with a chilling precision, their budding futures extinguished in an instant. He'd study their homes, their routines, and their vulnerabilities, becoming an unseen architect of their demise. He would leave the scene as if he'd never been there, a ghost in the night, erasing himself from existence, leaving only the gaping void of horror and the agonizing questions behind. The police at the time were overwhelmed, working with limited resources and facing a predator who seemed to possess an uncanny ability to disappear into the ether. The case was a tangled web, a spiderweb of interconnected crimes spread across a vast geographic area, from the agricultural heartlands to the coastal communities. It was a daunting task for investigators, a Herculean effort to face a foe they could never predict, a phantom who left no discernible trace, only the indelible scars of his atrocities. Loretta Jones was one of his victims, a woman whose life was cruelly extinguished in this wave of violence. The details of her case are shrouded in the profound pain of her daughter's loss, a loss that has become even heavier with the relentless passage of time. 46 years of agonizing silence. 46 years of unanswered questions that echoed in the emptiness of their lives. 46 years of a constant, aching void where their vibrant mother should have been. Her case remained open, a stark and painful reminder of the failure of justice, until the breakthrough finally came. Her daughters never gave up, their hearts ablaze with an unyielding desire for justice, a desire that kept the flickering flame of memory burning bright, a beacon in the darkness. Their tireless efforts to honor their mother's memory and seek accountability became a powerful force, a testament to familial love and perseverance, one that would ultimately help to crack the case wide open. The timeline of the crime stretches across the years like a jagged scar, a terrifying chronicle of escalating violence and profound human suffering. It is a timeline that highlights the slow, deliberate, and horrifying escalation of evil, from petty theft and menacing threats to brutal rapes and, ultimately, cold-blooded murder. The story is of a man driven by a dark and twisted compulsion. The crimes, stretching from the mid-1970s to the mid-1980s, left a chilling impact on the communities he terrorized, casting a long shadow of fear. The fear that permeated neighborhoods was a constant, gnawing reminder of the lurking darkness, a fear that forced people to turn inward, to distrust their neighbors, and to live in a perpetual state of anxiety, forever looking over their shoulders. The turning point in this decades-long saga came with the relentless march of scientific advancement, specifically the exponential growth of DNA technology. This breakthrough allowed investigators, working tirelessly with renewed hope, to connect seemingly disparate crimes to the same perpetrator. DNA evidence from crime scenes, previously too degraded or too scarce to be useful, could now be meticulously analyzed to build a comprehensive genetic profile. The profile of the East Area Rapist/Original Night Stalker was slowly emerging from the fragments of evidence, a haunting portrait pieced together from the smallest biological clues, a puzzle finally beginning to take shape after years of agonizing dead ends. This was the scientific breakthrough that would finally bring an end to the terror, a beacon of hope in the long, dark night. D'Angelo, a former police officer, had lived a life that, on its surface, appeared remarkably ordinary. He lived in a Sacramento suburb, held a job as a mechanic, and by all outward accounts, lived an average, unremarkable existence, blending seamlessly into the fabric of suburban life. But his DNA, once collected and analyzed, provided an almost irrefutable link to the horrific crimes that had terrorized California for decades. The evidence was overwhelming, connecting D'Angelo to the rapes, burglaries, and murders that had haunted the state for so long, a stark contrast to his seemingly innocuous life. D'Angelo's arrest, in April of 2018, was met with a mixture of profound relief and stunned disbelief. Relief that the monster who had inflicted so much pain was finally in custody. Shock that the perpetrator, the embodiment of so much fear, was an ordinary-looking man who had somehow managed to hide in plain sight for so long, living a double life. The impact of D'Angelo's capture was profound, a watershed moment in the annals of criminal justice and a beacon of hope for countless victims. The news of the arrest spread like wildfire across the nation, and for the first time in decades, the victims and the victims' families finally had a chance to breathe, to exhale the fear that had been lodged in their chests for so long. The pain of the past decades, the suffocating fear, the sleepless nights filled with dread, the constant worry for their safety and the safety of their loved ones, started to slowly recede, replaced by a fragile sense of peace. For the surviving victims, and for the families of those who had been murdered, there was the possibility of closure, a chance to finally begin the arduous process of healing. For the family of Loretta Jones, it was a long-awaited triumph, a vindication of their enduring faith. Their relentless efforts to see justice served, to keep their mother's memory alive, and to demand accountability, had finally paid off. Her case was officially closed, with the profound and comforting knowledge that her killer would never again inflict such unimaginable pain on another soul. It was a victory for the indomitable human spirit, a testament to the enduring power of love and familial bonds, and a powerful reminder that even in the darkest of times, hope can persevere against all odds. D'Angelo ultimately pleaded guilty to 13 counts of murder and was sentenced to multiple consecutive life terms without the possibility of parole. The process of justice, the complex legal proceedings, the emotional toll of the trials, the anguish of the victims, and the overwhelming grief of the victims' families, all of this had finally come to fruition, bringing a somber but definitive conclusion. The case of the East Area Rapist/Original Night Stalker was closed, but the scars, both physical and psychological, remained etched into the lives of those he had so brutally impacted. The trauma inflicted on the victims and their families will forever be a part of their personal histories. The story of the East Area Rapist/Original Night Stalker serves as a stark and chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of seemingly normal lives, a testament to the deceptive nature of outward appearances. It is a testament to the enduring resilience of the human spirit in the face of unspeakable evil, and the extraordinary lengths to which people will go in the unwavering pursuit of justice, no matter the cost. It is a story that continues to resonate deeply with the victims, their families, and the many people who lived in fear for so long. The case is a potent reminder that justice, while sometimes delayed by decades, can eventually and triumphantly prevail. The impact of this case, the sheer scale of the terror he inflicted, and the long period of agonizing uncertainty surrounding his crimes, has left a permanent and indelible mark on our collective consciousness. The case serves as a profound reminder of how critically important it is to never give up on hope, how vital it is to trust in the unwavering power of the human heart, and how essential it is to believe in the pursuit of justice, regardless of how long and arduous the journey may be. It is a story that began in darkness, but it is also a story that ultimately illuminated the light, the potent light of hope, the unwavering light of justice, and the inextinguishable light of the human spirit. The whispers are finally gone, silenced by the relentless pursuit of truth. The truth has finally come to light, bringing a measure of peace to those who suffered in the shadows for so long.